Amitabha practice is very special practice that Buddha Shakyamuni taught in the sutra. Very much Buddha said. It's so important, so special. Why is so important for the duality beings? Because to connect to Amitabha is so easy. That's what Buddha said. Buddha Shakyamuni, his own word, his own voice, from his love and kindness, compassion and wisdom, he said, Buddha, connect to the Buddha Amitabha is so easy, so simple. And also is to be born in that Pure Land is so easy, so simple, because that is the promise and commitment of the Buddha Amitabha himself. Other Pure Land, such as the 5 Dhyana Buddhas Pure Land, for example, Pure Land of the Vajra Pure Land of the Akshobhya, or the Rana Sambhava, and the Amoga Siddha, and Vairochanas are very difficult to take the rebirth in those Pure Land, because you have to have, or those individuals take the rebirth, they have to have realizations, high realizations, quite good high realizations. That's what we take rebirth in this Pure Land. But the Amitabha Pure Land is because of the promise and the commitment of the Buddha Amitabha. Amitabha is easy to get. Buddha Amitabha had the special commitment when he was Bodhisattva in the teaching said, or Buddha Shakyamuni told that he made the commitment, when I get enlightenment, in my Pure Land will be the Pure Land of everyone who are deluded, who are heavily obscured. But as long as they have the intention, joy and the thought to take the rebirth or reborn in my Pure Land, may they all born in that Pure Land. If such things not happen, may I not become Buddha. That's what the Buddha Amitabha made commitment. As he made the commitment and he reached enlightenment, therefore his Pure Land is very open, very free, and duality beings can take rebirth in Pure Land. And then all the high realization beings also took rebirth in the Pure Lands, in the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabhas. Therefore, Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha is so simple, easy, and very direct. And then the teaching said, when you take the rebirth in Pure Land of Amitabha, there is no names of sufferings, difficulties, troubles, challenge that we go through in these lives. For that reason, great Master Karma Chami said one of his teachings, in this world, there is a life after life we go through. Death, getting old, sickness, and birth. One after another. He used the example as like rosary. When we beat the mala bead, we beat this. It just goes on and on and on. And for that reason, he said, better to take the rebirth in the Pure Land of Buddha Amitabha, where there is, we don't have to go that transition again and again. We can stay long time. That's known as the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha. It's Pure Land of the longevities. Longevity Pure Lands. We stay long time in that Pure Land. And during that long lifetimes, we are staying in the youthfuls, not getting old, not sicknesses, and then even we don't have the death of that chain for long times. No sicknesses, no getting orders, no sufferings, no difficulties, no troubles, no chaotics. Therefore, this Pure Land is even named as land of blissfulness, land of great comfort, great happy. In that Pure Land, we take the birth. It's not that we're spending time, wasting time. In the teaching said, in that Pure Land, everyone is so alert, so mindfulness, so concentrated, so thoughtful, never going to waste it casual, like discussingly or casually, always cultivating the bodhicitta, love, kindness, compassion. As much as you could develop the compassion and love and kindness, bodhicitta, that much immense of the joy, happy and peace and comfort is bursting, is glowing, is shining in the teaching set. That is what the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha is. It's so easy, so simple. And there we can advance all the bhumis, all the 5 paths. We can advance one after another, one after another, one after another. Support is there, meditators are there, inspiration is there, joy and devotion is there. Everything is there. That's what we need to develop Bodhi. And not just only that, because of your development, the achievement, then you're not also restricted in that Pure Land all the time. As you develop in the teaching said, again, Great Master Karma Chami said, you can travel. You're free traveling. Every Pure Land, every world, even can come back to this world. He said, in the time of all the Buddhas, 1,000 Buddha to come, or like 996 Buddha to come, you will come and receive the teaching, inspire all those devotees in that time, and go back to the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha. It's so easy, so beautiful, and traveling. And the Pure Land of the Buddha Amoghasiddha, Pure Land of the Rena Sambhava, Pure Land of the Akshobhya, Vajra Heart, all other Pure Lands that you can travel, go and come back. That's what the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha is. So therefore, every teachings of the practice lineage contains this teaching of the part like known as the Pua practices or Amitabha practices. Easy and simple. And therefore, it's so practice can't really, well, we meditate and practice, we can remember the Buddha Amitabha. And we think that and pray for that. It's good. It's part of our practices. And to take rebirth in the Pure Land of Buddha Amitabha, in the teaching say, there is only four things we need. This is the principle, cause and conditions to take rebirth in the Pure Land. And first is thinking of the Buddha Amitabha and the Pure Land again and again, or Pure Land of Dewachen, or Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha, again and again, again and again, if we can think. Every evening during the day times, once in a while, or 2 times, 3 times, or once in a while, that is first. First. The second is, then do good deeds. That is part of our practice. It's nothing extra practices. Do good deeds, good meritorious practices. Accumulation merit practices, wisdom merit practices. That our practice, key practice, is not something that I'm going to go Dewachen and I'm not going to practice. I'm waiting for my retirement. This is not like that. I'm not going to wait. Key practice. This is what we started already. So we're not going to start Dewachen after 100 years or 50 years. We started Dewachen right here, right now. Key practice. Key practice. Do accumulate the merits. Merits. That is second cause. Principal cause of taking Dewachen. Third cause is again the same thing, nothing different. Bodhicitta. Increasing bodhicitta. Kindness of compare thought you don't. We talk about that all the time. It is not just we talk that. That is essential teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni. From the Hinayana teaching all the way to the Dzogchen teaching. Bodhicitta. Kindness, compassion, love, compassion, and poor boundless thought. And bodhicitta means not just a self-centered attitude. Opening our heart and mind to all the beings. Beings, wishing everyone be born to the Pure Land of the Amitabha. Wishing no one has suffered anything. No one unwanted things happen to anyone. Everything come with so joy, peaceful, happy. Really, the poor boundless attitude. Bring up that attitude, that thought. That is known as bodhicitta. That is third cause. Third cause to take rebirth in the Dewachen. So that is our practice, nothing any unusual. And the fourth one is dedicate the merit. That is also same thing, nothing. But if you can dedicate, that is slightly changed. I dedicated this marriage to take my rebirth in the Pure Land Dewachen, and as well as rebirth of every living beings to take birth in the Dewachen. That redirected, that dedication is slightly different. Otherwise, dedicating the marriage, same way, for the enlightenment, for the removal of the suffering and sadness, all the sentient beings. With that thought, those are known as four principal cause or the conditions that will take rebirth in the Devachins. The first one is thinking of the Buddha Amitabhas. Again and again, if you can think, every day, or once in the daytimes, or once in the evening times. And the Buddha Shakyamuni says, also teaching in the Amitabha Sutra said, Ananda. The Ananda was one of the principal audience when Buddha Shakyamuni gave the Amitabha Sutra teachings. Ananda, look to the western direction and hold the flowers and throw to the Buddha Amitabha. Ananda. That will be a cause to take the rebirth in the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha. That's what the Buddha Shakyamuni said to Anandas. Look to the facing to the western directions, and throw the flowers, thinking of the Buddha Amitabhas. That is what take the Buddha. So simple things. I mean, nothing that, but these simple things looks like so simple, but this is motivation, intention, motivation, time and right moment, right way. The impact is so strong, so deep, so beautiful. And that we can do for all the beings. Those who passed away, we can do these practices. Those who are going to come, future, and those who are here, we do this practice. We act as a representative of everyone to the goodness things, and wishing good things for all beings. That is our practice, not just the practicing time of the journey or time of practice of the Buddha Amitabha. That is our practice. That is meditation. That is also is not just a practice because of something, but this is our heart. That is genuinely Nyuxin, the Buddha nature, that sparking, that shining. Each time when we do that, we are glorifying our Nyuxin. We are making that appears perfect, everything beautiful. We are polishing, we are glorifying that. We are touching to our core of the inner heart, the nature, our own beings. It's not just an extra we are doing, we are glorifying that nature. And that means when we glorify that nature, what is going out? Immediately we are cleansing, removing, transforming the unwanted habit patterns, negativities, grasping, dualities. That makes it difficult to me, that makes it difficult to everyone. That is removing. And increase that makes happy me, that makes happy everyone, that is increasing, that is developing. So therefore, it is a wonderful, it's so beautiful. That is what we do. And Buddha Amitabha is so simple. Again, there's nothing complexity things. The same as the Buddha Amitabha, exactly, actually, except the color is different. Red color in the teaching said. And then they feel all the presence of the enlightenment. Buddha Amitabha is surrounded with all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Arahats. Everyone is there, everyone. And then, for example, in the great masters who took rebirth in the Pure Land, renowned ones, Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna last his statement, what he said, I will go to the Pure Land Dewachen, but afterward I will come back here, he said. I will go now in the Dewachen, I will come back. Nagarjuna also is there. And then many great Tetuns, many great masters, and one after another, and then the renowned one again, great master Karmachami, also said, I will go to the Pure Land. And many of those great masters also in there. And many of practitioners are so devoted. And then also I saw that I read, long time ago, the short life story of the famous Chinese master, Hun Sen. Hun Sen is so famous. famous, and he wrote such a so beautiful guidebooks that nobody really did like him. So thoroughly, so measurement, so mathematical, and they wrote every day. Time he traveling from that in I think 7th century. He traveling from China and all the way from the Silk Road and all the way came to the India and stayed at Nalanda I think 12 years or 10 years something. Then he took the same route. He went back to China and he bought such a big lot of books of the Buddha teaching. Bought back and then he translated. I heard he was one of the great masters, translators in Chinese Buddhism. That he's translated so many books and famous. I read his life story last time. He was like nearly he's leaving his body. He began to tell that he's smiling face. How many lotus are falling in his pattern. How Amitabha is appearing to his for me. That's what it said. He's laughing, smiling, and a lotus welcoming. That in the teaching said too, the Buddha Amitabha's Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching on Amitabha Sutras. That we devoted to those things. And the Buddha will come as support and ushering us to the Pure Land. Well, we are not going to see all the part of experience, have to go through all that. There will be Buddha Shakyamuni will usher, Amitabha Shakyamuni too. Buddha Amitabha will usher those individuals joyfully live in the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha. That's what it said. So that is what is about Buddha Amitabha. And then we have very beautiful prayers of the Buddha Amitabha. There's a long one that which is composed by great master Karma Chami. The Karma Chami's words are not just a word of the duality, word of the ego clinging and grasping. His words are the Vajra word. It's so powerful, so simple, so powerful in effect. That practice, long prayers of the Buddha Amitabha, of the Karma Chami, so popular. Both Nyingma and Kaji schools, everyone practice. Whether you're a lay person, whether you're fully ordained ones, or the novice monk, or great masters, great scholar, renowned, no matter who you are, so many those masters practice, so many practices become so popular. For example, also the popular Rinpoche also practiced that Amitabha prayers, and he went to village in the teaching said, or the life story said, Padma Samye went village to village and gathering all the villagers and having the practice of the Amitabha for 7 days or 1 week, and stopping the trapping, hunting, butchering, and everything, and then how everybody should stay non-violence, peaceful, and practice of Buddha Amitabha. He's so famous then. And then as well as all those great masters. Even now, for example, in Tibet, I heard so popular practice by his Holiness Khenpo Nyingma Punso, his foremost one of the disciples known as Khenpo Tsutam Lodi, and their student, it's become so popular everywhere they practice that long practice of the Karma Chamis ones that. So it's very famous. But also short ones. For example, if those who would like to practice, is here that we joined in the page 72. Page 72, and this is very famous. This is the Namchi Majodorji's Terma, but also Raga Akse blessed. Raga Akse's teaching. So therefore it is like teaching of the both Namchi Majodorji and Raga Akse. And Namchi Majodorji said, Amitabha taught him this. Amitabha spoke that to him. The teaching said, this young great Tetu, Amitabha saw in a person is in his vision, Amitabha, Jerezai, and Vajrapani, and all they became and said this. So as he transcribed it, as he said that to Raga Akse transcribed it, Raga Akse or Karma Chami, which is the name of also Karma Chami. Karma Chami always he mentioned, said that he is the minister of the great Tertung Raga Akse, said to him. So you see, both his teachings. This is very famous. And the long one, if you like to have practices that, and also I can offer that too. I have quite a few copies Copies, if you like to practice, is a little long, but I offer that too. If you like to practice, I have very beautiful copy that I will say, if you practice once in a while, if you can. For example, if you can practice it every day, of course, great. But once in a while, once in a week, or once in a month, or once in a year, and if you can practice, I will give that. I will offer you. See, I have quite few copies of that. But anyway, practice of Buddha Amitabha, that's what it is important. And now, when you practice of the Buddha Amitabha, particularly here, is what? In the short Gunto practice, how we have, what we have. I pray to the Buddha Amitabha, may I actualizing the transferring techniques. That's what in the teaching said. So it is practicing on the Buddha Amitabhas. To do transferring technique is his own Jamgon himself said, it's not you have to put exactly the power practices, but you make that connection, you make that passage to take the rebirth in pure and poverty with this almost similar style, similar techniques of the power practices. Power practices, as you all know, I think many of you, almost everyone knows, power means transferring. What we're transferring? We're transferring the consciousness. What that consciousness is, same consciousness is concepted in a mother's womb or between two elements. That consciousness we are transferring. That consciousness is the mother's time, is concepted with, or when we are concepted time, is concepted with the two elements of the parents, but where that principally resided that principally residing in heart center. That consumption is what is. That consumption is absolute level, that is mixing. This mixing what we're talking. That is what you're really transferring. And why don't call mixing? Because even though it has mixing, but it is covered up with duality mind. So we're transferring the duality mind of mixing with the duality mind. Duality mind, that to the Dewachen, the pure land of Devachens. When you visualize, do the transferring techniques, of course, many of you know already this, and there is beautiful teaching practice that Khenpo went, and I had the great opportunity to join with him, and that also the recently Thakur and Amanda they added it in that beautiful that, so there is already that. But however, again, this is how we go. We should think by three intentions. That is simple. And therefore, the first intention is the destinations, where we're going. Destination is pure land of the Buddha Amitabha and heart of the Buddha Amitabha. That is our destination, that we are going there. That means I'm going my consciousness going there. And how we are going? That is then the central channel as a passage. Central channel is like as what called? Like rocket passages. That what called? What do you think? When the space shuttle challenges goes up, something drops. What's that?
Fuselage.
What? Fuselage launch better. The fuselage. The fuselage is central channel. Central channel is fuselage or passage. That is the passage. And what is the traveling? It's the consciousness already said. Travel is consciousness. Who is going to the space? Space shuttle challenge. Space shuttle challenge is our consciousness of with the mixing or mixing with the conception. Because there's no other choice. We have to have mixing. There's graspings. If we have fully revealed the mixing, even we don't need to do this. But since we have this, We are covered with the duality, but Nyuxin is heading with duality. That space shuttle challenge of the Nyuxin with duality is heading to the space of the Buddha Amitabha and the pure land of Buddha Amitabha. Once you got there, what you will do? You're going to orbit in the pure land of Buddha Amitabha. That is now. And see all the beautiful galaxies, sun and the moon, the stars, and also earth. It's not something that you're gone. You are. Change the position. Change, and we will do continually same thing as we've been doing this time. Bestowing, we already in Dewachen, among the four that cause of Dewachen, rebirth in Dewachen, among four, we don't have to think now to take birth in pure land of Dewachen, thinking that again you're already there. But what you will think to other ways to think. And then you do this maturity activity, bodhicitta activity, dedicating, practicing, all we need. That we keep. Continue the same thing, same way, we keep that. With that intention, we need to come to this. This in the teaching said, I mean, you read that. But that's the, you said, and we visualizing Buddha Amitabha right above our head, right in the sky, and with stone devotion, stone intention. You know, Amitabha is embodiment of all Buddhas, every enlightened beings. Come in one single status and pray to him strongly, and then when time comes, I'm going to go into pure land, pure Buddha Amitabha, pure land. That you think, you pray that, and visualize the Buddha Amitabha right above that. And occasionally you can think that Satrachena and the consciousness, that is how I'm going to do. Kind of rehearsing, reactivating that. That is what we do. That is known as the practicing, really practicing of the Pova or practicing, particularly making the connection to the pure Buddha Amitabha, and preparing, transferring the consciousness. And generally, in the teaching said that you read the books, there is many different types of the povas. Dharmakaya pova. Dharmakaya, transferring the consciousness, is what we're doing. Meditating on the Dzogchen state, meditating on the absolute state of nature, that is Dharmakaya pova. In that level, there is nothing to transfer, nothing to transfer. It's beyond all activities. Relax in that nature state is the most powerful Pova practices. And you capture not just that notion, traveling effort, but you capture the entire universe, the entire samsara nirvana as pure land of the Buddha Amitabha. There's no notion to need traveling this and that thing. You are in that status, right there. From there, you're going to behold everything. And the second is Sampokaya, transferring. That is practicing of the visualization, meditation, practice as follow the teaching and visualizing that. That is, again, right, it's those great beings can do this right before or the moment of death or after the death. When they experience all those coming part of the vision, they come. And then the Nirmakaya Pova is redirect the rebirth. And that after we pass away, after the Pardo, again redirect with your mindfulness. Then redirect the birds that take the higher rank, higher status. Those are that. But these Pova practices, or this one, immediately connect with pure land, immediately visualize the Buddha Amitabha, and it is so powerful, so speaking in the teaching said. It's so speaking, so powerful, because we are still alive. Still our mind is active. And when we go to the transition of the dissolution experience at the last moment, sometimes our mind is not so clear, not so strong. Even you rehearse, even you have all the Pova practices, all that, but due to the conditions, circumstances, sometimes there is difficulties. But if we do always with like this, with strong devotion, one finger point of thought, and thinking of the Amitabha, and thinking of all the beings with that, that will bring, no matter whatever the situation happens, it will take off. It will kick out that attitude, that energy, so that really we can have rebirth, or the transition is very beautiful and spacious. And then all the signs and different, those in the Pardo books, there's so many beautiful Pardo teachings and all those things, poor teachings, so I won't go through, but that is what practices. Once those finish it as in the teaching, as our Mundo practices, I pray to the Buddha Amitabha, may I actualize the practice of the Pova, or transferring the consciousness. After you practice that, make that connections, and after that, then you, Amitabha, again, with a lot of blessing lights came from Amitabha and to all the beings and to you, and finally Amitabha dissolves. Dissolve, and that come down to your crown chakra, or the central channels, and to the heart center, and merge it with our Nyuksin, your Nyuksin. Your Nyuksin, and then meditate in a Dzogchen status. So that is like really how we do the practice of this four practices. Now with these practices again, now once we do that practices, then we meditate. When the meditation comes, as the great Master Mohan Rinpoche mentioned so many times, then we relax the original state of the nature of the mind, which is in a Tibetan teaching or the Dzogchen terminology, Nyuksin, the original nature of the mind. We are going to relax. The original nature of the mind is free from compounded, free from the existing, free from the non-existing, free from every aspect of the grasping can hold. It's totally free. Simply to tell, this Nyuksin is free from the grasping, free from any reference point, free from any focal point. Relax on that nature. That nature is open, that nature is freedom, that nature is infinite, that nature is profound. Those all the terminologies we use can explore the quality of that. But the deep, really quality of this nature, how we explore our own meditation. Self-awareness, pristine cognition will only experience. That's what the great master, Rahula Bhadra, said, "Oh, Buddha's son, Rahula Bhadra, praise to the mother of the old Buddhas, Panyaparamata. Self as we chant, inconceivable, inexpressible, unborn, unceasing, nature like the sky. It is not this, then what is this? It's nothing to do, nothing to find. It's no. It's only well experienced. The practitioners, the individually practitioner will experience this pristine cognition, the awareness, vividly experience that. Behold that vividly that experience. So it is, that is the nature. And for that reason, in the teaching, use examples. Sometimes use examples as molasses experienced by the nude persons. Nude person cannot explain the flavor of the molasses or the chocolates, but the nude person truly experience, truly the flavor get, truly experience in the direct their status. That's how the true nature is. Not by the mundane world, conception vocabulary can put inconceivable natures. Even Buddha didn't do only what Buddha said. Inconceivable, inexpressible, unborn, unceasing, all those the Buddha used. That is what Mohan Rinpoche was pointing out. He said, hey, should not take any misunderstanding of any things, those subtle mind and those empty and all these things. It's beyond. If we started thinking it's subtle mind, then here, Great Master pointed out many times from And so that is a nature that we explain. Otherwise, we should not mistakenly all these different things and purposely different things. Papa may say of the Dzogchen, use the Dzogchen terminology and make their own convenience, change the authentic teachings, and we can go wrong directions. That's what the predicted by